You believe it would be impossible for the child to be someone else.
It's kind of could be impossible.
原告唐特·格拉布斯在成长过程中没有父亲的身影，因此他加入了帮派并贩卖毒品。唐特说他年轻时曾与被告约会，但19年后他发现被告有一个孩子，可能是他的儿子。唐特请求法院进行亲子鉴定。被告莉莉安·廷斯利在寄养家庭长大，16岁时开始与唐特约会。莉莉安称6个月后唐特失踪，不久后她发现自己怀孕了。莉莉安认为唐特是孩子的父亲。
Okay, well, a little background about myself. I grew up without a father figure, really. My dad was nowhere to be around. So I ran the streets, joined gangs, was heavy in the gangs. So
What city?
Peoria, Illinois. And was involved with everything involved with it. I was involved with violence, doing violence to other people. A lot of my friends been victims of violence, seen a lot of people die young for no reason, really.
It's very poor there.
Yes, it was. So
a lot of poverty.
Yes, there is. So getting older, when it got into selling drugs and everything, I was more fascinated with that, being able to have things. And along with the living fast, buying cars and all that came the women. I was more addicted to women and the lifestyle of everything. Henceforth, now at the age of 37, I have 5 sons and 6 daughters.
此时旁听席上传来惊呼声，想必法官也深受触动，甚至开玩笑说这案子可以很快就结了。
Fertile as you are, this is definitely your child. My goodness, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I say approximately 12 years ago, when my oldest son was about 7 years old, he had a condition with his kidney where he was hospitalized, and I had to stay in the hospital with him for several days because they moved him out of town. And it was like I had an epiphany then where the lifestyle just wasn't for me. Like, it's more about my kids now. So
Good.
I fought very hard to reestablish myself as a good standing citizen.
显然法官对唐特的转变很感兴趣，他趁机让唐特现身说法，如何摆脱街头黑帮，重回正轨。唐特说他的做法是换朋友，远离恶劣的环境，培养技能。阵营的旁观席上一致赞同。
I'm not a banquet manager. I've been doing that for about 10 years. I do weddings, event plannings, and along with that, working on the side as well. I learned a lot about home renovation and everything.
You're able to pay for 11 kids, sir.
Yes, sir. I don't have all of my, because a lot of them are older now. A lot of my children were made when I was very young. So out of 11 kids, I got about.
接着唐特提供他有能力抚养小孩的证据。显然法官认同唐特的真诚与能力。
And I'm so glad you came in here today. So now we need to determine whether you have a 12th child that you should be taking care of. So I'll listen to her. Give me some background on how you all came together and either had a child or not.
Okay, well, I met Mr. Grubbs. I was 16. I was a foster care person, so I grew up in a foster home. And when I met Mr. Grubbs, I had already had my first child. We dated for about 6 months, maybe. And like he just disappeared. And after like not seeing him for a while, I found out that I was pregnant. I conceived my son in August. When I conceived
of 2000?
When I conceived my son in August, they took my children because I was a foster kid. I didn't know that by me being in foster care, I didn't have any rights to my children.
How old were you?
I was 16, but I got in the system at 12. And pretty much when they took my kids, like I moved away. Like I moved to California and I felt like they took my children, so I never looked back. And 10 years later, when I did decide to come back is when I started seeing some of our old friends and like they were asking about my son. And I told them like, well, it's a possibility Mr. Grubbs could be the father. And I really didn't want anyone saying nothing. So I was like, if y'all ever came across him, let me be the one to tell him. And like, we both have mutual friends. So his cousin ended up seeing him. I guess they had a conversation.
Were you having unprotected sex with anyone else
not
at
just
the same time?
It's not the same time, but around the same time, yes. But I believe when I did, I was already pregnant. So then when I went to the doctor and seen that it was true, he was already gone and I had started talking to someone else.
All right, but were you talking to someone before that at the same time?
Not the same time, no.
法官认为莉莉安讲述的时间线混乱，他想搞清楚莉莉安是否肯定孩子是唐特的。
You believe it would be impossible for the child to be someone else.
It probably could be impossible for it to be someone else.
Probably
Because
could
like
be.
at
You said you never slept with anyone at the same time.
Let me tell you. I went to the doctor. They gave me the wrong due date at first. They told me my son was going to be born in October.
But you
I had him before
ultimately
that.
found out the real date.
Yes,
that's where we're at. What you found
when I found out the real date.
Conclusively.
Yes.
And if you look back at the real date conclusively.
There's no way that it could be anybody else's baby.
There you go. That's why it take you a little long to say that. You jumped around there to say that.
法官继续询问19年来两人救孩子的事情是否有所沟通。唐特表示他是最近才从一个表弟那得知有一个潜在的儿子。而莉莉安解释说，当他的孩子被带走后，他也搬走了。随后他们失去了联系。
Okay.
Yeah, there was no
you that
social
found
media.
her.
Yes.
Okay,
no social
got
media
it. All right, you heard that you might be the father of her child, so you searched her down to try and do the right thing. All right, good. Once again, I applaud you.
此时，法官与旁听席上的观众对唐特都怀有好感，都默默的希望他是孩子的生父。
So let's find out. And what other type of reaction have you had to it? Have you told your son?
They've met. Like, I'm very open with my son. Like, we don't, like, I try not to carry any secrets.
What does your son feel?
My son feels like that's his dad.
Okay, good. You got a lot of children. I usually ask if it isn't your child, would you like to continue the relationship in some capacity as a mentor, help with the money? But
I'm sure
you got 11 kids, though, huh?
Yeah. I'm still going to be there for him.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad to hear you're going to be there for him because you don't have to. You're not the father.
这样的结果未免让人失望。旁听席上的一位观众甚至对莉莉安出言不逊。招了的莉莉安回头反击。
You were sleeping with someone at the same time, having unprotected
sex. Yeah, they gave me 2 different dates.
I'm glad you got to the truth.
Thank you.
有网友认为法官有些为难莉莉安，当年她才16岁，生长在寄养家庭，又怀着一个小孩，处境非常艰难。庭上的讲述虽有遮掩，但也未必刻意撒谎。小伙伴们，你们认为法官对莉莉安的态度应该温和些吗？